Your picker's not broken. Instead, you are ignoring the signs that are right in front of you. You are seeing what you want to see and you're ignoring the rest. Now, I know this ain't an easy truth to accept, but it's going to be essential in order for you to get back to freedom. Now, before I even get into this, I want to make it blatantly clear that the purpose and the intention of this message is for one reason and one reason only: to set you free from your own limiting beliefs. Period. It's to set you free from the idea that you are not in control of your physical reality, that you are a victim in your life situation or circumstance, but instead it is to bring you back into truth, which is you have power, you have control, and therefore you can make the decision to live a life in which you are bringing forth the things that you desire within your own experience. So I just want to make that little thing clear, right? Just a quick disclaimer. So your picker. First and foremost, when it comes to this idea of a picker, I had no idea what a picker was until quite recently, right? A little less than a year ago, I was introduced to the idea of a picker. Now, if anybody out there is wondering what the heck a picker is, it's basically this thing of saying, my ability to pick a relationship, right? That's my picker. So that's kind of like my attuneness, my sensitivity to picking the right relationship. In most cases, people will use the word picker in a negative context. They will say, my picker is broken. Now, what this means is my ability to choose or to pick must be broken somehow. And that's the reason why I'm picking the wrong partner, or plural partners. Now, I understand the concept and I completely get why we would think to ourselves, well, if I'm picking the wrong person, it just means that I'm picking the wrong person. This sounds reasonable and it sounds logical, but we got to take it a step further in order to get to where we truly want to get to, right? Because when it's all said and done, we don't want to move through life like we have a broken picker or it's about a picker, right? Because that still makes it an external thing. Instead, we want to bring it back home to our true power source. And so what I've come to realize is that it is not a picker that is broken, right? It is not the fact that we are unable to see those blaring red flags on the field. It is not that at all. It's the fact that we choose not to do so. Now, it's funny to me because we're so selective in so many ways as human beings. Like, we'll say to ourselves, I'm real good at sensing people's energy out, right? I'm so good, I can just tell when something's off. I can just tell when somebody's off. I can just tell his energy, her energy is off. And I knew immediately that this person could not be trusted. So, okay. So you have the ability to discern energy. Beautiful. Congratulations. That right there is one of your multitude of senses. We don't just have 5 senses, folks. We have a multitude of unseen senses that we don't like to acknowledge in the Western world, but that's okay. We're growing up. We're getting there. So your senses, your multitude of senses are working. You can discern energy. Now, when it comes to relationship dynamics, all of a sudden, that sensatory aspect of us, that sensing of finite emotions, is no longer working. It's gone, right? Oh my goodness, I got tricked into this relationship. Oh man, they just showed their true colors 17 years later. I had no idea that they were this way. Before, we were able to sense somebody's energy just walking in the room, but all of a sudden when it comes to relationships, that ability's gone, like this. And so what I've come to realize is this. Again, we are picking and choosing when it is most convenient for us, when it serves us, and when it doesn't. So if you want a relationship more than anything else, you are desperate for one. By the way, a place of desperation is the worst place to come from ever. Like, if you see somebody who's desperate for food, they will do anything to get their hands on that food. Anything, any damn thing, right? Everything goes if they want to get that food. So think about that energy of desperation. I would do anything in order to get the thing that I want most. Okay, I would dive into trash can. I would eat rotten. I would do whatever in order to satisfy that desperation. So when you're getting into a relationship because you're desperate, and people love to tell themselves they're not desperate. We all do it, right? I love to tell myself, oh, I'm not desperate. I'm not thirsty for that opportunity, that situation. Here I am salivating at the opportunity. Oh, wow. Oh, thank you, master. Wow, you done did me good, master. Thank you. Desperate. Right? Unable to walk away from deals where I know that I'm undervalued, desperate. And so we find ourselves in relationship dynamics. Why? Because we feel lonely, because we're scared to be alone, because we think, oh, what is anybody going to think? Damn, I mean, if I ain't got nobody, then I am a nobody. All these sorts of beliefs lead us into a space of deeper and deeper desperation, where we then make decisions that override our knowing. They override the heart space. They override the under and inner and overstanding that is within all of us. We all have the ability to discern. Every single one of us is a quote unquote empath, right? But not in the way you've been taught, not the way your auntie told you about it, right? And I'm just somebody, I can't help but take in people's energy. No, that means you can't control your energy, or you take people's energy upon yourself because you're not willing to put yours first. That's a whole conversation for a whole different time. Let me know if you guys really want to break down in that, because I'm only here for the truth. I ain't come for the sugarcoating. I'm not the one. I'm really not him. I'm him, but I'm really not him. You understand me? So anyway, we make our decision based on desperation. Oh my goodness, I am so lonely. I want somebody, who's going to satisfy this loneliness. And if you are looking to satisfy loneliness through a relationship externally, you will always feel lonely. You will always come back to that default of loneliness, because loneliness is not a byproduct of being by yourself. That will be called peace in most people's eyes who are doing the inner work, right? Instead, loneliness is disconnection from yourself, meaning a lack of relationship with yourself, meaning you don't know yourself. So you feel like there's nobody there. You feel like it's hollow. It's void, because you have not connected to self. In the same way you would feel if you had a relationship dynamic that nobody's home. You feel lonely in that situation. And when you feel lonely and you get in a relationship from that energy, you attract the very same energy back. You will continue to attract an energy that makes you feel whatever it is you were feeling when you got into it. It's a perpetuation. You think it's going to solve your emotional problems. Guess what? It's only going to mirror it. That's law. That's universal principle. I don't make it up. I just get the information out. I'm just the teacher. I'm just the messenger. You understand me? So don't come with me. Don't come with me. Don't. Well, you can come to me if you want. You can go ahead and comment and say whatever you want in the comment section. But I'm not going to be over here, what was meing for you, because I had to accept this for myself. When I was moving like this, attracting situations and circumstances into my life I did not desire, and I wanted to blame any and everybody else for it. But guess what? That was just keeping me in a place of weakness. It was literally giving over my power, usurping any power that would have been within me otherwise. And so here we are. We find ourselves making decisions based upon desperation. Usually it's desperation, right? Because again, if I feel lonely, or, I need to have someone to feel like a someone, whatever it is, we get into a relationship without discerning energy. And when we do that, oh yes, the quote unquote picker is always broken, because you are overlooking those acute sensatory things that are always at our disposal. You are always able to discern them. Even the person who's the most far removed from their own emotions, like I was an unemotional, emotionally unavailable man for God knows how long, upwards to this point in my experience. And even me, in running away from my own emotions, was still able to sense things, but I would just override it because it was convenient for me. I would override it because it didn't serve my current agenda. If you care more about getting married than you do about love, not just, I'm talking about self-love, inner love, just love overall. If you care more about security, quote unquote, external security through marriage than you do about love, you will marry the first person who is ready to put a ring on it, or ready to have a ring put on it. I guarantee you. Just as long as it looks like marriage, you will have anything going on in that relationship, you will turn an eye. You will turn an eye to anything that goes on in that relationship, just so you can satisfy or serve that intention and purpose that you're holding as your highest priority. And so that's what happens to us. And, I could get into a deeper discussion of energy matching and frequencies, because this is something that many of us still don't have a clear-cut understanding, but we're getting there, right? We're growing up, we're maturing. I know we had this information thousands of years ago, but sometimes we just got to bring it back to the top of consciousness. Is you are creating your life, right? Basic. You are mirroring back to you as life experience what is within you. What you believe, what you hold to be true about yourself, how you perceive yourself, see yourself. The culmination of the thoughts you think, the emotions you experience, and the ways in which you show up in the world or your intentions that you hold, those are the creators of your physical reality. Period. There's no alternative, there's no other, there's no side quest, there's no turn it off, turn it on. This ain't a hack. I see people talking about the law of attraction like it's a damn thing. I'm manifesting right now. Oh, I'm about to manifest that. You are always and forever perpetually creating. Every single instant, every single moment you are in creation mode, right? You are creating, bringing up, attracting life experience. And so, if you are looking to create a different life experience, that means you must do what? You got to go fix everybody, right? You got to go change everybody. Oh, you got to tell everybody how it is for real. You got to stand on business, right? Stand on business. No, 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 no. What you got to do is change yourself energetically. Shift your own emotional state, energy and motion. Shift your own inner state by refocusing your thoughts into more productive, more empowering, right? High vibrational thoughts, and your emotion, energy, and motion will follow as an indicator to show you that you're heading in that direction, and keep your focus in that direction, and you will create from that place. But if you keep your focus on dense energies or, that fear, that paranoia, that desperation, whatever it may be, right? You beat yourself up all day long, then you attract somebody who does the very same, sometimes physically. And you wonder why this person is in your life experience. This ain't me trying to victim blame or victim shame. This is just me pointing out the reality that we recreate what is within ourselves, what we believe we are worthy of. And when we choose to stay in these toxic cycles and habits, whatever they may be, relational or chemical dependencies, whatever it may be, we do so starting within ourselves every time. I know we don't like to hear it. I know we want it to be something else. I get it, but that's what it is. And so if you want to change it, you got to go internally. Here's the process once more, just in case you missed it. It ain't your picker. It's within you. Focus your thoughts in a higher vibrational state. Your emotions will follow, and so life will begin to follow that direction. Done. Period. Point and blank. It is finito, completo, and done. That's your job. Everything else is going to play out in the best, easiest way possible. Now, easy for you might be resistant as hell. You might be somebody who's holding on for dear life, holding the very good of life away from you. You might still be holding on to beliefs of undeservedness and unworthiness and inadequacy and all these sorts of energies that are dense and that keep you in sort of they keep you in a low vibrational state. If you're doing that, the good of life is still looking to come to you, but it's going to eke through little by little. But if you let go and you shed those belief systems and you allow yourself to raise vibration, which is again high vibrational thoughts, it's simple. It's not eclectic. You don't have to do a juice fast or something. You ain't got to do all that funky stuff. You just have to focus your mind on things that are life-giving. That's why gratitude, right? Gratitude is a fixation on the good of something as opposed to complaining to your auntie. You understand me? Imagine that. Oh man, I am thankful for this. Not, auntie, look at what happened to me. Look at what's going on. Look at what's going on. Just like Marvin Gaye said back in the day. What's going on is you need to fix your focus on the goodness of life, and that's what will attract into your physical experience 10 times out of 10. 10 times out of 9. I add one more on that joint. 11 times out of 9. We can go all day. Every single time, this is going to be truth. This is going to be the reality. And so you must make the decision, conscious decision for yourself. Am I going to direct that way or nay? Now, that being said, get yourself a copy of my first published book, Doing Me Guilt-Free, Breaking Free from People Pleasing and Unleashing Your Personal Power. This is going to be a necessity in your inward journey. Removing yourself from the need to be validated by everybody and their mama. That right there is going to move through life with you. It is a companion. This is a buddy cop film, and that's your partner. You understand? You're going to have a love-hate relationship at first, but then eventually y'all going to be besties. Shout out to the other guys, Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg, I believe it is. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Oh, you can get yourself a copy of one of those by clicking the link in the description below. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Till the next time, namaste. Namaskar.